frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene, vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM. The man.
Thursday afternoon, everyone. It is the 16th of May, 2024. Welcome once again to The Real Issues with me, Shelton Daniel, your host and producer, alongside our regular technical operator, Alton Jaquan Joseph. I hope you are having a good day so far. It looks like a good day. It feels like a good one. The heat is not something we can keep complaining about. It comes with the territory. It comes with our climate. People pay big money to come here and to enjoy it. Our beaches, our scenery, and generally to take in the goodness and beauty of our country, of which there is so much to be thankful for and to appreciate. You know, I promised you yesterday, and I want to do that without much further ado, that we want to be talking about the recent situation, the recent announcement of the conviction of a man who was found in possession of what is considered to be occult literature and paraphernalia, things having to do with witchcraft and with black magic and with those kinds of things. And I don't think we've heard the announcement yet. I think that's for another date for him to be sentenced. Whether such laws should still be on our books? This is the question that I want to ask. And there are, it seems, multiple, at least 3 bodies of law that deal with those kinds of things. I don't want to go into the nitty-gritty technicality of those things, but the question is, should we in the 21st century be having those laws on our books, so that people can find themselves arrested and charged and fined and punished for having a book, The Magic Power of Witchcraft, or, you know, how to read someone's palm or whatever it is. You know, these are the kinds of things that I want to talk about. But before I get to it, it's something I've been speaking about quite a lot. I don't like repeating myself, but sometimes it looks like that is the best way to go ahead and to make a point, to be relentless about it, to continuously reinforce it, so that at least those who are in a position to hear and to do something about it, that by sheer dint of persistence, that they will be moved to do something about it. Because I'm not satisfied that enough is being done. I don't think everything can always be done every time about a problem. I understand that. But people, this is about life and death. This is about life and limb. This is about property, about damage, about perils and so on in one of the potentially most dangerous places where human activity takes place in any country, on the roads. You know, I've been driving for decades, you know, a long time. And I think I mean, if I may say so myself, I think I've given a good account of myself in driving. I think I'm a fairly decent driver. Accidents I've had have been very few and far between, and almost all of them have not been, you know, any fault of mine. You know, animals crossing the road, you know, when you least expect to see a goat and then it just darts across the road, and, you know, these kinds of things and so on. Very, very few and far between. The problem is that I see things happening on the road, and I don't know if that is the experience of other people. Situations I find myself in with increasing frequency. I've managed to avoid collisions and crashes, but it causes me to doubt myself. It's like you become unsure of yourself. Even when you know you are doing everything right, doing everything by the book. It makes you wonder, but is there something wrong with me? Am I missing something here? And it's happening more and more frequently. Let me give you two examples. You've heard me talk about that junction, Sun Souci, John Compton Highway Junction, opposite Lucilec and the Fisheries Complex and so on. How sometimes you see a green light and you're about, and something tells you hold back, and somebody, usually coming from town, comes flying up like if you had gone. There's no way. Even if they wanted to stop, they could have avoided hitting you. It happens other places. But I'm using there as an example. And you go and you ask yourself, you know, did I really see that light turn green? If it was something that was a close shave that you can say, okay, the other person was on yellow. But once your light turns green, it means the places where you could have a collision and so on, they are already fully red. And when the person is not yet already at the line, they come over the bridge with that kind of speed. You know they came with the determination to go through regardless of that red light. Last night, I decided to go up Babono to run an errand. And just when I reach at the top of Babono, where there is the bus shelter, just opposite the police station, and I'm about to make a right turn to go on the Babono main road, you know, something tells me, you know, you learn that from your defensive driving and all of that. Just, you see a guy with a motorcycle coming from the intersection where you go down the hill to go to Fontaso. I don't know if it has a particular name and so on. You know you have the right of way on the Babono main road, but the guy is coming and he has a pillion rider, a female. Likely his girlfriend, his sister, whatever, somebody he should care about. But something just tells you he's not going to stop. You know, you can see the way they come in. And so said, so done. I just decided to lift my foot off my accelerator. And the guy came like he never had any intention of stopping. He came right across me. Had I gone, I would have hit him. It would have been Ukonye Bugla, Supate we Bugla. You know the way they gather. People, they gather like, you know, like they're, you know, they're already, like it's something that was already rehearsed. And they come around you, but guy, Ukonye Bugla, guy, his motorcyclist, you know, and you know how it is. And maybe somebody will recognize me. Shelton Daniel Gilai, he toujours criticize Moon and the motorbike. He back motorbike, you know how it goes. You know, the next thing people play in their hand in your face, and who start to give you a poussade and a gorget, and it escalates from that. You could be lynched for those kind of things. Nowadays, when you see people flee the scene of an accident, police, be a little restrained about charging them, you know, for leaving the scene of an accident. Be a little restrained. Because you have an accident, and depending on where it is, who's there, whether it's your people, family, or whatever, you can get lynched right there on the spot. You can get beat up and so on. And it has happened. And I'm saying, but wait, is this young man really a licensed driver? Did he go through any process of learning where they teach you about intersections and who has the right of way and how you should give way and so on and so on? But I'm happy I did that. And I have this kind of instinct in me because, you ask yourself, is it really worth it to have these accidents? Your whole day, your whole night gone, is a whole up and down, is a whole this and police report and insurance this and that and so on and on it goes. And you might get charged for careless driving. There's a whole lot of thing that goes on. So you tell yourself, it's not, but you wonder, what about the other guys? Do they have that mindset that this is my bike, it costs me money, this is my life, this is my leg that can get broken and etc. etc. I prefer not to let that happen. I don't care. As if that were not enough. A little earlier in the middle of town, I'm driving along Miku Street, which we all know is a one-way street, approaching the intersection that is just by the KFC, opposite the presbytery, before you reach the cathedral. And a young man is coming up along Pena Street from the side where the Castries City Council and the court buildings. And I see him coming, and I know along Miku Street, almost for the entire length of Miku Street, you have the right of way. Right of way extends for the entire street and so on. But it's not a matter of right of way. The guy is nowhere, and I see him coming. And this thing which I'm telling you about being unsure of yourself. And I see him coming, and I'm saying, oh my goodness, I have the right of way, but is he going to stop? And I slow down, and he's looking at me like he's puzzled. Like, why is he slowing down? I'm not sure if he'll go. He's not sure whether I'm letting him go. But it's just this thing is making you so unsure of yourself. You know you have right of way, but you go. He might decide to just do the same thing the guy at Babono did. And next thing you know, you hit a cyclist and this kind of thing. And, it's a whole mess all over again. I am appealing again, Royal St. Lucia Police Force Traffic Department, and you must be doing some things right these days. You must be. I won't go into what it is. I always praise you and congratulate you. But this problem on the roads, especially with those bikers, I don't believe all the crazy overtaking you can have, patrol car chasing fellas, along the Badouanche flat. That's not what I'm saying. But you need to step up the traffic stops, the stop and search, checking on fellas for their license, for their registration, for insurance. You need to check on them for helmet, because only people who know that they are not conforming to the rules and the law that they should be conforming will be taking those kind of chances. They know that they are not being held to account. And there is nothing that gets a situation worse than when rule breakers, law breakers feel entitled. They feel justified. They feel impunity, that nobody is telling them anything, so nobody can tell them anything. This situation can only get worse, police. Because that sense of entitlement will lead to violence. With them feeling when somebody that they have the right to play their hand in their face, to threaten to shoot them, maybe to actually shoot them, people will react. This thing has become out of control. You need to get it under control. And every day it goes and it is not brought under control, it ain't going to get better. People don't just stay and decide, oh my, I feel sorry, I repent, of the bad way I'm driving on the road, and I'm going to change my way. Maybe 1 in a million, every million years. Most people, the moment they can get away with something, it becomes normative. It becomes something that I'm entitled to. It becomes something that, I can do and nobody even supposed to talk to me about it. You have to pull it, because if not, to bring it under control at some point will require pulling teeth. It requires maybe even some bloodletting. We don't need to let things reach a situation where it's so chaotic that you have to discharge a firearm at people, shoot somebody, write off somebody in order to get the message and to make the point. We don't need to clip it in its wings, nip it in the bud, stop it right now, while it is going on. Stop those fellas, because it cannot be that licensed people, responsible people, in short, it's people who don't have insurance premium to pay. It's people who don't have license to pay. It's people who are not in the database of registration and so on. So, they're not people who can be held to account and brought to book because they're not in the system. Nobody who has paid their money and who is accountable to the whole regime of licensing, registration, insurance, does that kind of thing as those fellas are doing. It has gone too far. Police, do something about it. It's not getting better. It's getting worse. And like I said, an experienced driver like me, I've taught a couple people to drive, And they have nothing but praise for me. So not only do I think I do a decent job, I think I have imparted good things to people that I have taught to drive and so on. When I, a guy like me, I'm not holding myself, can be so unsure of myself now, You already indicate you're going to make a right turn, yet you hear that roar coming from behind, in between lanes of traffic, and the person is not going to stop. It's not you, You have to cancel your indication. You have to pull yourself back. The person behind you don't really check it. They're horning you so angry because some motorcyclist is coming, and the way he's coming, if you make that turn, is a disaster you're going to cause. And you're not criminally minded. You have the right of way. You're supposed to go, but you see this guy. You almost know he's not going to stop. And so you have to pull up and do all kinds of things, irritating people, all kinds of things. People, we have to do something about this. Anyway, enough said about that. The amount of times I have to talk about that thing, I don't see it getting better. It is getting worse. And it's not happening out on the Bexon Highway, a place where there is, a lot of space and where, vehicles are few and far between. This is happening within the heavily populated, heavily trafficked urban centers of Castries, Grosile, those kinds of places. That those fellas are doing that. And they're doing it deliberately. Because it's show off they want to show off. It's a display they want to put on for people to see them. It's notice they're looking for. Come on, look for your notice, but at the danger. What are we waiting for? For a few people to die in that thing? For people to start to chop each other and every kind of thing like that, when a man do all of that to you, and on top of it all, he don't have insurance? Come on. What planet we living in? I can't be in another world. Anyway, people, I want to open the phone lines today and ask you, do you believe that laws pertaining to having in your possession and importing certain books that have to do with witchcraft and black magic and those things, that people should be arrested and charged? Should those things be outlawed? Should we still have those books those laws on our books? What purpose do they serve? Do they help the society? Are they not a carryover from colonial times and from slavery times, when the people who ruled us were people who considered themselves Christian, and they considered, their queen to be the head of the church, and it still is, and they were people who were ministers from the UK that we looked up to. Of course, they were not Christian when it came to enslaving us, and doing us all kind of cruelty. The Christianity apparently didn't factor into that. These are the same people now who turn around and want to pressure us on things like same-sex marriage. You know what I'm saying? But we have their laws on our books still. The influence of the Roman Catholic Church and churches and Christian churches. I'm not saying it's a bad influence. I think you all know when I talk that I am a Christian believer. I am. But I tend to see it in a different light than some of my brethren, and they're still my brethren and my sisterin. Jesus Christ also said, do unto others as you would like them to do unto you. And I find by and large Christians and the Christian influence, where it is the dominant, the ascendant belief and value system, they believe that they have a right to force their Christianity down the throats of people, including Christians who are not so hot about it, including other people who don't subscribe to the values. And my point is that, look, there was a time when Christians were the outcast, when they were the pariahs, when they were the outlaws, and they had to face the most cruel persecutions, martyrdom, execution, confiscation of their property, for the triumph of the gospel that their founder, Jesus Christ, said that he will build his church and the gates of hell will not prevail against it. That the very Roman Empire, which was one of the main persecutors of Christians, it became so Christianized that a Roman emperor converted to Christianity, and he made Christianity, he issued a decree or proclamation that Christianity became the state religion. His mother was also converted. So therefore, Christians moved from being the persecuted outcast to being at the center of influence of political, cultural, economic, and other power. They became the government. They replaced the government that was persecuting them. This was a good thing, but I wonder if it didn't make us become more interested or less interested in the weapon that gave us that conquest, the weapon of the gospel and evangelization. And now we became more interested in the secular power and in the colonization. Because if you want to do unto others as you'd like them to do unto you, yes, you know the witchcraft and all those things, you don't believe in it and so on. But likewise, there was a time when they who were practicing the witchcraft and worshipping a pantheon of gods, they thought you were weird. They thought you were odd, and they tried to wipe you out. Should you be using now your predominance, your preeminence, your ascendancy in the society to use your political power and the control of legislature and all these kind of things to force it upon people and to imprison them if they want to do things which do not constitute a threat to society in terms of a bad influence on minors, on children and so on, taking advantage of the old and the vulnerable, forcing people into things sexual and otherwise that they don't want to do? Should we still have those laws on the books, which I believe, I could be wrong, you will tell me, really reflect the Christian predominance in terms of the societal influence? Is it really that? Should we really be, buggery and so on in Antigua where I came down, buggery is on the books as a crime. It don't matter whether it's consensual between consenting adults. I don't know how they're going to find that out. But if two consenting adults decide they want to engage in anal sex and so on, if it is not consensual, one force on the other, well, they're going to get the punish. But if you say yes to somebody else and you do it, you're likely to be punished too, Should those things be on our book still? Should we be looking to penalize people for having a crystal ball or Ouija board and so on? I am saying, if you are going to criminalize a crystal ball and a Ouija board and so on, why are you not prepared to accept as evidence if someone says, if it's a criminal thing, if I go to court and I say, look, I did this, Your Honor, but I did it because, somebody was working a zinze on me. And why is it that they're not prepared to entertain that? They're throwing that out. They don't want to hear that. Why? Because there is nothing in it that is empirical, that can be recorded, that can be shown. It is not an objective thing that you can take and use it as evidence. It's a say-so. It's an allegation. It's something somebody's making. They will not accept that. They don't accept if you come and you say you were under the influence of a zinze or something. If you come and you say this person stole that cow and I know he did it. How did you know he did it? Well, I looked into my crystal board or I took my Ouija board. The judge or magistrate, they'll run behind you right away. They don't want to hear that foolishness. They consider it foolishness. So if it is foolishness, that it does not hold up in court as evidence, why is it that if a person has a Ouija board or anything of that kind, that you want to arrest them and try them and convict them and jail them and fine them and do this kind of thing? Why do you want to do it? Is it that you're saying that there is a legitimate, genuine and provable danger about it? If it is genuine and legitimate and provable, why is it almost always inadmissible in court as evidence? As a Christian, I'm concerned about those things. Because while the centuries Christians have moved from being the persecuted outcast and pariahs and so on, and for centuries, including especially in America, the religious right and the people who believe that the government is a church, I don't know where they get that idea, and the president is the pastor. In St. Lucia, there are many people who believe that. And maybe that explains the weakness of Christianity compared to what was described in the primitive church in the book of Acts. That we rely less upon the instrument and tool of the gospel, and we rely upon the arm of the flesh, the influence that we will have in Congress, the influence that we can have with elected representatives, anointed representatives, and this kind of thing, depending more on the arm of the flesh in terms of worldly influence and lobbying and so on. What if tomorrow, and we have to ask ourselves a good what, What if tomorrow the homosexuals, the people who believe in same-sex marriage, the people who do all the things that we consider, the witches and the Ouija boarders and all those things and the witch doctors and so on, that the tables turn and they become the predominant influence in government, in the judiciary, in the legislature, in the legal profession and so on? Would we like them to craft laws that force down what they believe down our throats? And that they begin to outlaw us? And they begin to tell us that if they catch you with a Bible, these things used to happen, They catch you with a Bible, they will burn you at the stake and they will do you all these kinds of things. These are the things that they've been through. Now, this is not an issue in the case of Natoki against any kind of Christianity or Christian church. I am just saying a lot of those laws are still on our books because of the influence of the colonial powers, the Roman Catholic Church, and subsequently a state where the predominant influence was, and I think continues to be, Christianity. Should we be forcing that down the throat of people? I want to hear from you, and I want to hear from you early. And you don't have to take it. It is the law. It is the law. It's on the books. So anybody who violates it, it is what is right now. And not being knowledgeable about it or not knowing it is there, like they say, ignorance of the law is no excuse. And so if Natoki or anybody else had in their possession books that are prohibited from being imported or being in your possession, that is the law as is. It's not a matter of police have something against you and the police whatever or anything like that. The fact is, it is the law. But should it be the law at this stage in our history and in our development? The number to dial is 724-7325, 758-724-7325. And you can call us, WhatsApp call us on that number. And you can also call us on 4533-911. I want to hear your thoughts on that. Should the laws under which recently, and coming to mind most immediately, but there have been others, that Natoki Anthony, the Bud boss, was arrested, charged, taken to court, and recently it's announced that he has been found guilty. I don't know what his plans are in terms of appeal. These things can be appealed, etc., etc. But right now he has been convicted. He will stand liable for the penalties, whether it be fine, imprisonment, or both for that sort of thing. Should we in 2024 be grappling with those kinds of things? Somebody want to order some book. Even one of the things I saw, Heritage Bible. And I've been trying to figure out the Heritage Bible, what really is it? What's objectionable about it? There is the Wiccan Bible, there is the Satanic Bible, there is all kinds of things by Anton LaVey and Aleister Crowley and all those, guess where those fellas came from, British, Aleister Crowley, a famous British Satanist and that kind of thing. These are the fellas, from the UK. They were, I don't know if they rotted in jail and everything, but here we are. We still want to take on people. Now, I'm looking for, let me see if I can get that part of the Customs Control and Management Act. But we got in a caller and I want the line to be mostly open for the callers. So let's take the calls as soon as they come. Good afternoon, caller. The Real Issues, and you're on.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Daniel.
How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine.
What books do you have there to bring so I can burn them?
It is said that in a democracy there must be a separation of powers between church and state.
Mm-hmm.
And the question is whether this is religious laws or civil laws. If it is a religious law, to me it should be struck out because the church must not have undue influence on the state, and the state must not have undue influence on the religious system. So if it is a civil law...
It's a civil law, of course, but I'm saying we know where the influence of that law came from. It's a law that is clearly influenced by the religious history and all of that we've had, which is very old and very long. Did he go? Yeah, caller, go ahead. Hello? All right, I don't know. Yeah, we're taking your calls. We've had the first one. Est-ce qu'il y a des lois nous ni dans cette lycée qui ka fait un crime pour moun ni en possession yo? Bagay nous ka concevoir qui ni pour faire et puis chien bois avec maléfice comme ça. Qui ka bay la loi droit et pouvoir pour arrêter moun, pour charger yo, pour mener yo l'audience et puis si yo toi paye yo coupable pour yo ça pénaliser yo. On comprend de l'argent et bien voyez l'argent le bail comme ça. We have someone else on the line. Hi. Real issues. No. The mode.
Let me just say right off the bat. I mean, I grew up among a number of churches, the Catholic, Anglican, most of all. As much as I'm not a religious person now, it goes back to what I said about to each his own. And again, it also takes into account what I said about certain laws that the books are based on religion. And I'm talking about the whole alcohol thing on Good Friday and these things. Now, they found weaker books. As much as Customs and Export, the Customs Act, it's the importation of these things. Weaker is a religion. And I think, like the caller just said, everyone is free to, freedom of association and freedom to practice religion. I don't believe in these things. I'm always fascinated to, people who choose to go towards the whole satanic religion and whatever it is, why they choose to do it. But at the end of the day, to each his own, as long as it causes no harm to any other person, to another person, and it's your own religious practice. I see no reason for it to be restricted. And get it straight out, I'm condoning it, but then again, in the spirit of our Constitution, freedom of association, freedom. The problem with it. That's it, Shelton.
All right. Do you have any such books in your possession?
No.
As if you'll ever tell me.
maybe a Bible, but nothing of that sort.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much for your contribution.
Thank you.
All right. 724-7325 4533911. The numbers that you can call us, please. What are your thoughts on the laws that we have outlawing the possession or importation of books that have to do with the occult, with witchcraft, with black magic, and even on the laws where you can, like Natoki Anthony has found himself being arrested and charged, being taken to court, and now it being announced that he has been found guilty and he faces penalties for that can be including fines, being imprisoned, or both, and so on. What is your thoughts on that? Should we still have that on our book? Do you believe it serves any purpose? Do you believe it is a protection to the society? Or do you believe it is something that is antiquated, that is there from long ago, and really we should have gotten rid of it for quite a while now back? All right, so waiting for your calls, 724-7325. What's the time there now, Jaquan? Time for a commercial. All right, let's take the commercial break, and when we come back, we'll return to the calls and the messages.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
McDowell's Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene, vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues, 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
McDowell's Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene, vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues, 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
I'll be reading
McDowell's
the actual
supplements.
charges that were read and recorded against Natoki Anthony. But let me just read for you. My chair is sinking. I don't know why. This is the first time I've seen it do that. So if you see me get a little lower, know that is the chair that has gone down. The Customs Control and Management Act, Schedule 3, Section 84.1, under the heading Prohibitions and Restrictions, Part 1, Prohibited Imports. I'll just read the one that applies in that case. It says, all publications, articles, or other matter associated with black magic, secret magic, obeah, witchcraft, or other magical arts and occultism. That's actually in our laws, you know. All publications, articles, or other matter associated with black magic, secret magic obia, witchcraft, or other magical arts and occultism. Now, who defines those things? In a country where, as someone noted in the Real Issues WhatsApp chat group, that we're having so many advertisements openly for psychics and so on, and master this, and, you know, people who can not just predict your future, you know, they can predict your present and your past, you know. I mean, you remember that, Jaquan? You know, we have people who are advertising that they can predict your past, you know, palm readers and all kinds of people who can do this and who can do that in the country. So who defines what is occultism and what is, you know? And it actually says black magic is always the black that gets the worst kind of, you know, denunciation and condemnation. Once it's called black magic. What about Indian magic, white magic, this magic, that magic? Is always say to black you have. Now, I'm not a fan of any of those things, you know. I don't believe in any of them. But I just want to ask myself, do we need, for the protection of our society, laws that deal with things about what people want to read and that sort of thing? Is that really the problem in our country? Do we still need those things on? And let me tell you, a lot of times that it is kept on. It is kept on by governments and by politicians who are more concerned about the political fallout and the political risk to them. A lot of times that's what it is, you know. If you see they sense a shift in the societal mood towards, you know, those things, or they don't care about those things, they wouldn't bother with it. It's like the same thing I told you about in Antigua with the burglary law. I think successive governments have kept it because they do not want, in countries like in the Caribbean, that you have a very strong current of conservatism and so-called traditional values. And so there are many people who believe that it is the duty of government to be the safeguard, the moral safeguard of the country. And so they're afraid that if they remove it, people will think that they're supporting bullying and this and that. So they keep those laws on. What consenting adults do in the privacy of their bedroom, where sexual activity is concerned, nobody is forcing themselves on another or raping another or doing this kind of thing. You think that should be on the books, that if we know that you all had anal sex, whatever, even if it was consensual, that you still go into jail for it, you know? Anyway, we have a call on the line. Let's take that call. Hi. Good afternoon, The Real Issues. Hi, good afternoon to you.
I'm good, boss.
Hey, what's up, man?
I'm good.
Thank you very much for calling. I didn't, yeah. How are you feeling?
I'm alright. You see the thing, the confusing thing about it. Yeah.
Yeah, you're a little sounding far and hollow and.
Okay, hold on, give me a second.
Yeah.
Okay, you hear me better now?
Yes, a lot better.
Okay, the thing about it is, the confusing thing about it is, I hear you talking about the law and everything. But within the law, according to the magistrate, like I said, there was nothing within the law that can prove the items that I was found with are prohibited or anything sort. You understand me? Just like if I was found with a firearm. In the firearm, in the law, there is a firearm is illegal. You see?
Right.
But the items that I was found with, within the law and customs, there was no place with the names or the items being listed being illegal or imported. So I am being convicted or being persecuted upon what a pastor said. It's not upon the law, but upon what the pastor believed in.
So there was a pastor who testified against you?
It was two pastors, two of them. Two pastors who came and testified. I don't know if you saw a picture recently there with Alan Shastney, Alan Shastney posing up with a pastor or archbishop or something like that.
Okay, well, Alan Shastney was an archbishop himself in 2016. You remember him?
There was recently a picture I saw on the line there with Alan Shastney and archbishop standing right next to him, like they pose up for.
Okay, tell us more about that conviction and the testimony of those pastors. Who are they that their say-so should have so much sway and influence?
That's what I find funny, because the customs man spoke and said that the items that they found me with, there's none of the items in their thing, so they cannot prove because my items are not listed as illegal import, nothing like that. And within the law itself, the magistrate cannot get nowhere where it is listed that this or that or this actually is illegal, or it is whatever it is. They cannot get no proof of that. So
there is a list of prohibited items, and you say none of what they found with you corresponds or coincides with that list.
None.
Oh,
none of what they found.
Because I was surprised.
There is actually a list of prohibited items within the customs, and then there is a list of items within the law that if they hold you, and then my items they hold me. Then none of them are none of those lists.
Because I was wondering about the Heritage Bible. What it is about the Heritage Bible?
Exactly. I was found with 2 crystal balls, right?
Yes.
Is there anywhere in the law or customs act saying that a crystal ball is illegal or prohibited? No. Nowhere.
So what reason did the magistrate or whoever it was find or give you that, look, I am convicting you because of this, I found you guilty because of that? Can you tell out for us, what did they tell you that they're finding you guilty of or for? Still there? Are you still there, Bird Boss?
They are evil. That's exactly what's going on. There's nothing. There's no book they found me with. It is listed in the law saying that that book is evil or that book is illegal. There is a list of books that is illegal. That if they find you with in St. Lucia, yes, they can arrest you with it. But none of the books I was found with is listed upon the list in the law. And secondly, with me questioning the pastor, I specifically asked the pastor and magistrate and prosecutor, did anybody find it got a chance to open those books to get to the understanding to themselves that they are actually evil or used? Because the contents in the books, I asked them to, why don't they go through the contents before? Because if you hold a man with cocaine or weed, you would test it. So if you hold me for a book and if you're in your mind tell you should have go into the book and get statements in the book that can show that yes, the book is relating to evil or anything so.
So let me ask you. Let me ask you once again, Bird Boss.
Yeah.
What were those pastors brought to the court for? To give character witness. I mean, I'm just wondering, what is their role? Were they witnesses? Were they brought in as expert testimony?
That's what they brought in, expert something so like what you just said there. That's the only witness I had in my case. There's 2 pastors. There's 2 pastors alone. Only evidence they had on me is 2 pastors' mouth. They have no evidence of law, of customs, of me exporting. They have nothing like that. I didn't get charged for no exporting. That was cleared out because I got 2 charges. So the only thing I'm going to be charged for now there is for the possession of the prohibited items. And then my possession of prohibited items there, but here's what? The items are not listed into the law as being prohibited.
Okay, they're not on any list to say, well, these items are prohibited, and he was found with them.
And I was found with them, so here's what? Why arrest me with something that is not on the list in the law as prohibited? Okay, a vibrator is prohibited, sex toys is prohibited, we know that, okay? We know we like to play naive about it, but we know, yes, it is, and it's documented there, it's listed. But the item that I was found with is not listed nowhere to be illegal or prohibited. It takes a pastor to come from where he came from and tell the judge, the magistrate, that a crystal ball is an evil item. And that's simple what happened.
No, but Natoki, I have to tell you, I am astounded that any magistrate worth their salt, and I'm not insulting a magistrate, that a magistrate is a lawyer, somebody who understands what is actionable and what is relevant where the law is concerned. That you hear somebody, and if what you are telling me is true, that a magistrate makes a decision on a point of law based upon the subjective testimony of a pastor who's not an expert in any technical way or anything, just tell you it is evil. I mean, there is nothing in law called blanket evil. It's either a person commits a murder, either a person commits a theft, either a person commits a fraud, either a person breaks a law pertaining to importation. But on the testimony or on the assertion of some pastor, are you at liberty to tell us who those pastors are? Have you been placed on the end?
One of them is he works in the Bethel Tabernacle. He's a pastor, McLaurin or something it is.
Pastor McLaurin?
Yes, and then the other one is Archbishop.
Archbishop Malze?
The Archbishop, I think he is.
No. It's not think he is. You must know Archbishop Gabriel Malze. Is it the Archbishop of Castries, the Archbishop of the Catholic Church? Hello? Okay. Bird Boss, are you still there?
Testimony alone, there's no evidence of my items. There's no list of nothing, no book I have there. The book they have there, they've charged me there for too. It's empty, an empty book. It's an empty book.
When you say it's an empty book, what do you mean? It just had the cover and no pages on it or nothing?
It has a cover and it has pages, but the pages are blank with nothing written on them. It's empty. And a pastor would tell a pastor actually told the magistrate that this book is used for evil. I just don't get it.
Wow. So did you have a lawyer in that case?
No, actually, I never took a lawyer because I didn't think that case was not looking like for me.
So you thought it was something that you could handle by yourself?
Yes, because I was willing to go to court because that's what I did. When as soon as the time came, I was going up and down. One time I was like a German. So I didn't say because both my spouse and I together. So I didn't say when I go to court I would, because I told them the truth from the time the police told me. The items they got me, if you see the items are looking like old timeish. I said to them, I explained to them that items like from when my father died. I took it from his room and I hold them there ever since. So those items have been there. You could see those things are not nowhere. You cannot. It's very old. If you see that, and you could see behind it, it has the names. I'm telling them on the Heritage Bible. You could go behind the Heritage Bible. You could see the names, and you see my father's names and then behind the Bible. You see it. And I'm telling them, man, that you could see those things are ancient. Like when I came from Venezuela, from a lot of things, my father died, I took all those things and I had it there in my possession there. And never used it, it was just there. You see it? So I tell them that my spouse has nothing to do with that. It is in my possession of my house, my place. But those things, they got me there, the Heritage Bible and the Weekend Bible and the board that is there from that's my father, like that long that they had. Their officers have seen me there already, I've been on live and showcase that on my live stream already. In my tattoo shop, that was an ornament in my spouse tattoo shop.
Do you have any regrets now about not having taken a lawyer or engaged a lawyer? I don't know if you could have afforded one. I don't know what your situation is.
Yes, I could have afforded one. No, I don't.
Yeah, but do you have any regrets now about your decision not to let a lawyer represent you in this matter from the very beginning?
No, I'm not regretting actually. You know why? Because I know for fact what's going on there, and then this is a whole big mistake that whole stick they're taking with me. That whole thing they're making with me. Because, like I said to you, if you had I'm actually going to appeal a case, sir.
You're not what?
I'm actually going to appeal a case.
That's what I was asking. What is your next step? So
I have a lawyer, you know.
So,
I'm going to appeal it. I have a lawyer presently. I'm going to appeal it.
Because regardless, I mean, you've gone through the pains and of telling us how you came to be in possession of those things. And I'm saying, regardless of how you came to be in possession, I am scratching my head saying, should such things be actionable in law to the extent that a man is taken to court for having the Wiccan Bible and for having a Ouija board and for having
and the Wiccan Bible, when you open that, it has nothing telling you about nothing that has nothing to do with nothing illegal. Like I said to the pastor, why didn't you read the book or open the book this week or before? The pastor actually said, made it clear to the court, he never opened none of the items, he never read them, nothing so. And you are judging me upon just watching the things, you never read them?
But not only he's judging you. To me, what you are describing to me, and I'm taking it that you are telling us the truth that throughout. I mean, of course, the court record will be there, but I'm just asking myself, in what is supposed to be the separation of church and state, in what is supposed to be the secular arm of the state and its organs of the judiciary and so on, and the church as a religious entity having its own governance in matters of scripture and truth and congregation and divinity and that kind of thing, how did there come to be that sort of conjoining of church and state, our judiciary, so that, religious leaders who have their biases and their prejudices, whether we call it faith, whether we call it their belief and so on, that they're being brought into court as expert witnesses to subjectively pronounce on what a man is doing is evil. Okay, it's their right to do that. They do it from the pulpit. But to be brought to court as expert and on that basis what you're telling me, you are being convicted. I'm astounded. I have to say that. Without hearing from them, I am conversational with both Bishop McLaurin and Archbishop Malze and so on. Don't know if they will want to give me their take on the matter. I'll try subsequently. But I am just astounded that this sudden, inexplicable conjoining of church and state occurred on that kind of matter. I don't know, honestly.
I mean, what the thing about it is, can we in St. Lucia or anywhere else use those kind of circumstances as evidence? Can you use coming to the court and say, well, guess what? A crystal ball told me it was Shelton Daniel who stole the marijuana. Who's that be used in court? Can you be coming to court? That's what I want to know. Can you go to court and tell them, or can you go to the police station and tell the police station that whoever put black magic on you or put a spell on you?
Exactly. This is the thing I'm saying, that these things are not considered to be admissible in court as evidence, Yes. For you to go and say that it's somebody who jinxed me or somebody who, you joué en les mains, this kind of thing. They don't accept that in court. If you don't accept it in court as being objective, as being verifiable and so on, why are you arresting and convicting somebody? If they have a Ouija board. I don't have one. I had one as a young man. It didn't take me 2 weeks before people discouraged me so much I mashed up the thing. $35 I think I paid for it from M&C Toy Shop. At that time, that's big money for a little boy. I can never forget how many had to scrunt. Can I get a little dollar there and so on to add up to put it and so on. So, but that's not the point. I'm saying
the thing about it is, that the situation about it is, that case there, from the beginning of the case when I told me, I wasn't even studying that because I realized that's something, and even the judge made it clear, that's the first time she's coming across a case like that. Now I find it myself, you know what happened there? A case like that, a lawyer would have asked me about $500 or $1,000 because I had lawyers in my disposal, but I wasn't up for that. You see me, I wasn't up for that nonsense. I spent a waste of time to even, because a book, I don't expect that. But everything that goes wrong with me, I have always realized that is an opportunity for me to get better and do better. So I am not regretting because this is an opportunity I realize for me, which comes again. I realize it always has to be about me. And everything that something go wrong with me, it's a chance for me to get elevate or go higher. You see? So that there is a mistake for me being judged upon something that is not illegal. Imagine a belt is not illegal. It's not prohibited. It's not illegal. They hold me, they arrest me and charge me for a belt. I'm on bail for a belt. They have me going up and down this court for a belt, only getting to know that there's no way in the system to show that the belt is illegal, but a pastor would come and tell somebody the belt has demons in it, so they'll charge me.
Yeah, it just does not sound like the objectivity and the empiricism that we expect of law. What kind of punishments are you facing? What did they tell you? Sentencing is reserved or something for a later date?
Well, when I go back to court, I go to the order.
What's that?
When I go back to court, I will not go on.
When you go back to court, you will know what it is that they will slap you with.
Yes.
All right. So what really are you facing based upon what you've been told? A fine, imprisonment?
Well, no, imprisonment is not in the conversation.
Okay. So you'll be fined?
Yeah. Right now, presently, they are confused as to what section they should fine me so to be the amount, because it's the first time. The magistrate is the first time she's coming across a case like that, so it's not something that she could just, so she has to go and make sure that she find what section that she should go in to see what charge I should think. But imprisonment is surely is not the conversation. So all the people who are trying to talk about, for sure, this is what said to me, imprisonment is not a conversation.
If you had to go through this process again, what would you do differently? Is there anything you would do differently insofar as deciding that I can take this on by myself, don't bother with any lawyer? Was there any lawyer friend?
I have done it in the past already, bigger cases. I have represented myself already. It's not a fact of, you see, there are certain cases that when I realize that I need a lawyer, I will.
Okay.
I will go for it. You see,
okay.
There are some cases when I realize it. Well, it's a you know what I'm telling you, I'll go for it now. That situation there, like I said to you, I am not regretting one bit, because my whole idea was to try and get my spouse out of the way of that thing, and that was just it. My whole idea was just to make sure my spouse was on the safe side of it. She's not involved. She's out of it. Whatever it comes my way, it's not nothing for me to be thinking about. But If it was something different, I would be regretting maybe a firearm or maybe some drugs or cocaine or maybe somebody. You know what I'm saying to you? It will be in my mind, but I know it, imagine today.
Okay.
There's a controversy over the whole internet with Natuki and again for some items that within the system it is not listed.
Okay.
I'm being prosecuted upon what a pastor see.
Okay.
But like I said to you, I have a lawyer presently. Presently, I have a lawyer which he's already been paid. He's already got his money, everything. So I'm going to be taking it from there on with that lawyer and then see what is going to go for.
With the benefit of time to reflect and what of it, have you made any decision like, hey, you see things like Ouija board and so on, regardless of what happened in court and so on? I wouldn't go back down that road. I'm sure right now these things, well, they've been confiscated. You don't have them and so on. Has it caused you, now not anybody pressuring you, not any court, whatever, but Natoki as himself sat down and said, you know, really and truly, I don't think I'll go back to having those things again or being associated with them or anything like that. Has it caused any of that kind of thinking or, you know?
Actually, no. To be honest, if you know, it has not that thought has never crossed my mind, or it has not drawn any fear.
So if you get the chance and the coast is clear, you'll go back and get your Ouija board and your crystal balls and so on. Huh?
Well, actually, you see what I'm seeing going happen. What I realized what happened in there is those people actually wanted to keep my stuff, and the only way they realized they had to keep it because they realized there was no error. They needed to slap with some nonsense.
So you suggesting that somebody must be there having the time of their life with your Ouija board and so on?
Yes, they have making the challenges and all kinds of But I am not regretting because I'm a man. My mind are open for knowledge. I'm a man. You know, it's nothing like people are very naive when it comes to that. Because that's like I said. I spoke to the magistrate. I told her, you have a pastor coming inside there to give his testimony. But recently I was in a boulevard watching a woman give up a man on a wheelchair 8 bottles of water with salt to drink, and having the man to believe that he will walk after he drink the water. He drank the water, he never walked.
8 bottles of salt. Salt water.
8 bottles of water and salt.
Oh my goodness, she must have been trying to push his blood pressure over the edge.
And you know, I explained to the magistrate that you can't allow a pastor to come there and just say, because that's what's going on in the world right now there. Those people are getting to try and, it's just like in the church. They're manipulating the people in the church, ask them to believe in what they want to believe. When the pastor wants money, pastor comes to the people. When the people want money, he's sending them to God. The same pastors are bad right driving and bad thing out there, and all of us, they're poor.
Yes.
So it's just it's an unfair thing, but I like it's an opportunity. Like I said, I'm not regretting. I'm not feeling no way. I'm not down. You know what I'm saying? Nothing is going on. It's not. I'm not going to be. You know what I'm saying? Nothing is going on. It's just all the money I might have to pay, and that's just it. Okay. But like I said, I'm going to wait for the lawyer going to do and say. So I'm waiting on his call. He's checking out what the stuff and see what's going on with it, and then we're going to take it from there.
Okay. All right. Anything further from you as we wrap up?
Well, I'm okay, you know, for now they're just realizing the flubos, the hacks, Neva Ward, Kamisha, all of them there rejoicing for jail time. I want them to know, no, jail time is not the conversation. I'm not going nowhere. I'm just getting warmed up because I have to make sure I dare to secure the victory. I ain't going nowhere. Big up to the government ministers, big up to Richard Frederick, big up to Philip J. Pierre, big up to the SLP team, man. They're doing a good job. Bless up.
All right. Thank you very much. And I hope what is best for you in the end, that you will find it and that you will pursue it according to your own, you know, purpose and so on. All right. Thank you very much for sharing the time with us.
Yes, sir.
All right. This is The Real Issues. Let's take a break. When we come back, we continue taking your phone calls and I'll be reading some of your messages as well.
McDowell Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
McDowell Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene, vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains, and illnesses? When there's help for you. At Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains, and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems, such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild. The power to heal, the future of pain relief.
It is well that illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay By Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The City opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop opposite the Grosley Bus Stop, Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosley.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
Live streaming has become one of the best ways to connect at a reasonable rate. With our state-of-the-art equipment, you can be assured that the quality of your funeral will be to your satisfaction. Call our office now and book your obituary and streaming with us. 758-453-7458.
The man, the voice, Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with big issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM. The man.
With the real issues on this Thursday. It is the 16th, the midway point of the month of May. That's the mobile number on which you can WhatsApp call us on 4533-911. All right. Good afternoon to the person who sent the message saying, Miroro, can't help grinning. Still serious though. Church has so much important work and they get involved in sensational stuff. And, without knowing, the full details of it, that, might I say, surprise, unexpected, call from Natoki Anthony, himself, to tell us what transpired. I'm only hearing from him. I'm not hearing the other side. I don't know if there were people who attended the court who can, give us their take on it. The mere fact that you have two religious leaders playing a part in serving as obviously respected, considered expert, authoritative witnesses, it adds to what I am saying. It adds to that kind of feeling, that kind of sense of Christian religion using its societal and secular influence to basically put the squeeze on non-believers, on people that we now, regard as the heathen and the unbelievers and the pagans and those sorts of people. The weapon that we have to use against evil of magic and witchcraft and sorcery and black magic is not the weapon of societal influence and lobbying and legislature. The arm of the flesh is what we are trying to use. It is the weapon of the gospel, of evangelizing people, not colonizing them, not squeezing them with the state power that we have acquired since Christianity won that battle against the Roman Empire and it became the religion that was officialized. Many people say Emperor Constantine embraced Christianity because it was politically expedient. He may not have been. A lot of people say that. But anyway, we have a caller on the line. Hi, caller. Good afternoon. Real Issues.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Doing okay.
Well,
Well, he didn't indicate at all that he was. He felt that he could.
Because we have certain practices here, like Kili and stuff.
Yeah.
In the dark arts and deep in voodoo. Anobia. There's practice, I know. Kili, one of the high priest drinks the blood.
Yeah.
And we celebrate it because it's part of our culture.
Yeah.
And stuff associated with voodoo and stuff. Was anybody called on his behalf to testify that really and truly it is this is all in the mind? That's it, nobody? So already two expert witnesses who are already biased against the dark arts. Let me call it the dark arts. Everything black.
Everything is black.
Black magic, Black Friday, black this, black that. You understand? Black. The Indians who advertise come to the whatever Angrash Pradesh who predict everything. Nothing for that.
They can actually predict. Those fellas can predict your past, eh?
Yes, I heard that. I used to hear the advertisement and the fellas bold. Nobody stopped them. But the money for which boards and thing and you know what I mean? But no, we practice the Kili and around the country the other forms. These expert witnesses can be accused of voodoo also because the Bible is also used.
But regardless of that, what is their place in a state secular court of law? I can understand if it is an internal church council that is investigating, you understand?
Correct.
Something to do to decide whether somebody should be excommunicated or disfellowship or whatever it is. But what is their role in a secular state court of law, in the secular judicial system, to come and pronounce something as being evil? And even worse, if what I'm being told, for a judicial officer, a magistrate or judge to accept their say-so as the basis for convicting a man.
Precisely.
To me something is of
the judge, magistrate is already joined back. Oh, he's a pastor, so he knows best. Nonsense. We have seen anyway. No. I just feel I'm just finding all of this ridiculous. I believe a man must be free to practice his religion. Same thing with the Rastafarians. These fellows were brutalized because of the little marijuana they're smoking, the inhalation and stuff. I mean, I don't support them abusing it and doing the whole thing, the herbs. But I think we are overreaching. My personal view.
Yeah.
The man's personal thing. The man is not harming anybody. I mean, he can practice his dark to all heck. I don't care if that.
And in any case,
go to church and pray. I don't care if that.
This is the danger of what's happening. Too much of this conflating and merging together of people's passions in religion with their secular functions. If you are a judge or a magistrate, you're supposed to determine something and adjudicate it on the point of law. What does the law says, and has any breach of the law occurred? It doesn't matter whether in your personal life you are Poto Leglis and you are somebody who passes the rosary 200 times a day or whatever. That's not what it's about. Your role is within the context of a secular state to judge things according to what is the law, what is the case law, what are the precedents, what are this, what are that, and so on. Not for you to believe that you are serving some kind of anointed function, some mission.
Correct.
You know, when you're on the bench, that's not what you do. You know.
And you made a point earlier. I think it's rooted in the philosophy of John Stuart Mill. We must not, because we are in the majority, try to silence those in the minority.
Exactly.
You understand? And same thing to with the minority. Even if you have the power to do so, you don't silence those in the majority. We have to be careful. The tables may be turned tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then Christianity becomes the minority, and then we have to be very careful walking that line. You understand? Allow the man to practice his religion. Whether he believes in that or not, it doesn't affect anybody. Allow the man to practice his religion. Get out of that. It doesn't harm anybody. I practice my Christianity. You practice your thing. Practice. But come on, for that, and you bring in two expert witnesses who are already biased from the onset, and you're going to convict them on the basis of their testimony. That should not be allowed to stand.
If that is what happened, I fully expect this thing will be tossed out. Honestly, if that is how it happened, as Natoki alleges, then this thing. Real Issues people, what are your thoughts concerning the recently announced conviction of Natoki Anthony on charges pertaining to his possession of occult literature and other witchcraft-related paraphernalia? I got quite a few answers in the Real Issues chat, which I'll read some of them as time permits. We have another call on the line. Hello.
Good afternoon, Shelton.
How are you doing?
I'm not doing too badly.
Are you calling to own up for this literature and other things that you have that you want to turn them over?
I beg your pardon?
All right, go ahead.
Man literature.
Kisauni.
Man literature, part of occult.
Kisauni.
Mani ouija bodin pièce bagay ça là.
Louvision exenzen que c'est bagay ça. Okay. Go ahead.
Ou témoin. Seul ça n'a service si peut-être moi voulais faire un geste. Un citoyen garçon, pas manière un citoyen bien.
Un citoyen. C'est là où chauffer en diffère qu'on faut en bas boudin on serpent qu'on va
faire. Madame Sala qui fait ibalier chimé castui. OK? You are supposed to déterrer à charge. L'autre monde l'année indien même indien qui a predict partout. Monsieur bon si tellement, isn't that evidence of witchcraft? If you can predict my past, Jesus Christ, ou pas besoin bon Dieu descendre pour ça c'est comment on va dire pas toi mi m'oublier. Okay? You can predict my past, you can predict my present, and you can predict my future. And he is emboldened enough to advertise. Okay? Give his name and everything. You mean to tell me, who means for the one, c'est police là pour qu'on réalise yale, dépasser là, pour yo I search kay monsieur, pour garder si ni ouija bode qui laisse l'autre bagaille ni, qui manière sont ces chrétiens. On Jean pays. All of that is still
claiming to be able to predict the future and even the past. Another person says, my opinion, if it is illegal, all persons practicing witchcraft, omens, etc. should be arrested and if found guilty, sentenced. Why arrest and charge one person while allowing others to continue to practice, advertise on radio/TV, churches? Some even have their offices operating as a business. Not that the authorities do not know that, but choose to turn a blind eye. What is good for the goose is good for the gander. A strong message is sent to those who still choose to practice in such a manner. Hope they go after the others as well. All right. Let me see that. Okay, someone was asking about the Heritage Bible. I'm not exactly sure what it is in the Heritage Bible, but who knows? It may be a Bible that has its little, slant and so on, people do all kinds of things that the Bible have done, through the centuries. One other person says, wasn't the Ouija board sold in our stores some years ago? I can attest that it was. When was the law passed that it was illegal to own one? What makes owning a Bible of any religious denomination wrong? This is so ridiculous. Another one says, what about all of the known Gages and Obia men who have long lines of people waiting for spells outside their doors? Surely they must have all kinds of similar stuff. The lines are probably cause for a raid on their premises. Now you must arrest all girls with phallic sex toys, I suppose what we call the vibrators and so on, or dildos, since they must have imported it. They're clawing on the ceiling and nightly calls of, "Oh God, I coming," to the sound of steady vibration, not trumpet calls, not the voice of the archangel. And from all accounts, the face of God they see or seek is not followed by their internment, as they awake renewed every morning. And then arrest all gays, for certainly they are breaking the law in their bedrooms. Their well-painted nails, which contrast with their less than feminine physique, should send the police breaking down their doors. You're this person, you know a lot of things, I must say. Another one says, I hope they go searching for other people with same in their possession, because I don't believe it's only Natoki that have or had this paraphernalia. This is rather strange, the number of murder, car theft, I think this means murders, car thefts, and other crimes in St. Lucia that remain unsolved. I saw a post stating Natoki is the mouthpiece for the Labour Party. Therefore, I need to know the merits of that charge and also the ex-speaker of the upper house. Oh yes, what's about the container of drugs at the furniture house? Lord have mercy upon us. We have another caller on the line. Hi, caller, good afternoon. Real Issues. Hello?
Good afternoon, Sheldon.
Yeah, hi, good afternoon to you.
Yeah, it looks like the WhatsApp number not working.
Oh, okay, maybe not, I don't know.
But I heard you very, very soft, not now.
Okay.
I heard you clearly.
I don't know.
I've
had this problem with the soft thing. I don't know what's causing it. Go ahead.
Yeah, let me tell the St. Lucian, keep your eyes open, keep your ears wide open, so to hear whatever. Because this morning I was listening to Nancy Charles and keep lying to them people, lying and never ever do that. And last week he opened her mouth and said, "Oh, and the Prime Minister taking the loan the Prime Minister taking is to give the supporters of the Labour Party to keep the victory." Nancy, I would like to let you know, I want you Nancy, to take a book calculator and everything and calculate the CSME, the youth economy, the elderly people that they are building their house, the non-fortunate that cannot build, fix up their house. They building house for them, fix their house for them. The student that they send to give their scholarship to go to all Cuba, other places in the world to go and study. Where their money coming from? The Majestic worker, the Liat worker, where these money are coming from? And Nancy, this is your homework, because I cannot get you on Andre's show, but I passed the message for you on Shelton Daniel show. Thank you, Shelton.
All right, thank you. Freedom to practice religion, that's a double standard. There was a woman who openly said that John Compton and Chasney has come to her for help in wanting to win the elections. There is another one at Redway. This is ridiculous. Let the man go. All right, I don't know about, but is that the same Fire Jaguar, the woman from, from what they call it, Fonkani, Fonkuli, whatever. We have another call on the line. Hi. Yeah, Real Issues, you're on. Go ahead. Are you saying she has become a clown?
Tell us the $500,000 which was for constituency business, time on his money, and the check was passed on a weekend, and election was on the Monday. What happened to that money? She must come and tell us that first. And before she can say any nonsense.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you very much. I didn't see the fire Jaguar arrested for sweeping the streets of Castries when Krasny was in power. The same fire Jaguar that he visited to determine whether he would win or lose the election. All right. This is so ridiculous on so many levels, and it shows we have moved little from the mechanisms of mental control imposed upon us by former colonial masters. The very countries who defined these laws no longer have any such nonsense on their books. How can some people be allowed freedom of religion, but yet the state dictates what constitutes a valid religion? If a man chooses demonic worship as his religion, how is it different from the Christian? How can one have rights and another none? Isn't that a contradiction? Can anyone attest anyone having harmed anyone with any such paraphernalia? All myth. If someone harms someone, aren't laws in our books to deal with that? Who determines that a book is occult? A pastor? Priest? Really? The same people who try to destroy Rastafarianism as an occult faith. By that logic, why was Harry Potter allowed in our cinemas as if we are averse if we are averse to so-called witchcraft? So when it comes from white countries, it is all good. Only black people can tap the devil. I believe this case should go on appeal. This is rubbish. Yeah, I kind of have, I don't know. I'm a Christian, but I don't believe in oppressing other people, because now you have the overwhelming and majority influence in the society to be down-pressing other people. I just don't believe that. Christians got down-pressed. They didn't like it. They prayed. They stuck with the gospel. And then one day, what we consider to be evil people and occult people and pagan people and heathen and all of that people and so on in this world, God can destroy them if he wants, If he wants, he can destroy them. Let there be, an end to all those people. Like he created the world by just saying, let there be. The fact that he has allowed them to remain there, he has his purpose as the sovereign. The fact that he has allowed Christians to coexist with people who are trying to destroy them and people who are doing all the things that he has said don't do, and he has the forbearance even when Christians themselves do it. Why do we think it is our mission, to put our foot on other people's necks and so on? When it was on our neck, we didn't like it. And that reminds me of something that the Apostle Paul wrote to a young pastor that he had ordained, a guy called Titus, a Greek, And he said to him, be patient and forbearing with people and so on, teaching them and helping them, because we ourselves were once like that. We ourselves were once foolish. We ourselves were once disobedient. We ourselves were once hating God. And it is when the grace of God through Christ appeared that we became converted and we repented and we changed and this kind of thing. So this thing about people, want to always use the mechanisms and the instruments of the state because now you are the predominant, ascendant influence to downpress people who following a different path and so on. That is not the kind of victory that Christ asked his followers, to subdue the world and to win souls and so on. He asked them to do it through the gospel. And he said to them in his prayer to his Father on their behalf, they are no part of the world, just as I am no part of the world. But it looks like a lot of Christians believe that their destiny and their purpose in life is to control the world and to use the world to subdue other people and so on. You have to subdue them through the gospel, not through legislation and all kind of funny business in court and all this thing, to use people. If it was them doing you that, you won't like it. You're supposed to do to others as you like them to do to you. We have a call on the line. Let's take. Hi, caller. Hello. Caller. Are you there?
Hello, Shelton.
Yes, caller.
Hello.
Yes, I'm answering you.
Shelton.
I'm answering you.
Yeah, I try to put on my volume.
Yeah, I'm answering you all the time. Go ahead.
All right. Okay. This matter is an old law, Shelton.
Is a what?
And this matter is an old law, and therefore the discussion, I believe, ought to be how we revise laws.
How what?
This is how we revise our laws. Remember, we have revised laws of the nature. Revised in 1957 law. Recently, we had the 2001 revised laws. So that I am hearing you saying that we ought to revise those laws.
Yes.
You will remember just last week or this week,
right? A U.S. Senate, I think in Baltimore, passed a law to rescind 1864 abortion law, which was successfully used in the state earlier this year.
Yeah.
So if in America, the Americans used 1864 law. Those of us who read law, that like law, realize that in the Privy Council you have some laws, right? The courts, the lawyers use century-old laws. Once the law is still in the books, it is still law.
Yes.
Do you know that it is unlawful to put your hand under a standpipe to drink water?
Okay, I didn't.
It is unlawful to shake your manhood in public.
Okay.
And these are laws. So therefore, it has happened. I'm hearing all the reasons you've given why it should not exist. But once the authorities exercise the law, right, there's no defense against it. You are right. The lady from Diga, Deriso, who put the guy to put up the flag, the guys who are advertising on NBC in St. Lucia, advertising to come and do things, etc. All of that is the same thing. But the police have chosen, or the authorities have chosen not to prosecute them. There's nothing I can do about it. So therefore, what I am proposing is that we do a thorough revision of the laws of St. Lucia.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
I'm driving, okay?
Good point. Thank you.
All right, good.
All right. I concur, comrade, and who determines which version of the Bible is approved or disapproved by God? Bible versions are as varied as religious denominations. 3 versions of Bibles were seized in the raid. Now, if the lotto comes on, Jaquan, you can, cut off, and then you can give me a couple of extra minutes to wrap up the messages. Just to add, the very King James Version that Christians swear by right now and quick to cite as the very word of God, inspired through men. I wonder how many of them has any basic knowledge of its origin. The ignorance on such matters by many pastors and priests who are supposed to be the shepherds/teachers is alarming to say the least. We're going now to the lotto. Okay, we're going to the lotto, and when we come back, I'll continue reading this message.
2024 will double daily grand 11, 20, 21, 22. Big 4, 6, 6, 4, 2. The big 4 multi-X Poltron is 3X. Pick 2, 0, 6. The pick 2 multi-X Poltron is 5X. 1 off, 5, 8, 8. Lucky 3, 7, 1, 9. The lucky 3 multi-X Poltron is 3X.
Now back our regular scheduled
A
program.
couple of extra time minutes. The teaching of religion and the conduct of faith must move away from division and denigration of those who think different from them and focus more on strengthening social cohesion. If not, the Dark Ages is always hovering above our progress as a society. That money objective in so many churches is the biggest occult motive that should be struck down rather than pursuing and frustrating the lives of those who think differently. Finally, the very Bible and Christianity, which is supposedly being defended by the courts, calls for the free will of man granted by God himself. Yet the very churches who profess to represent the desires of God are the ones attempting to stifle choice. You cannot have progress without contradiction. Contradiction is the essence of curiosity. This basic concept of dialectic of life must never elude us as a nation aspiring for advancement. That's another of the messages that we have. Let me see that. Someone has said, agreed, no theocratic autocracy. Liberal democracies work best. And that is the problem. Too many of us have a misunderstanding of the church is a theocracy, but it is not meant to transform a country or a secular country of pluralistic democracy and so on into a theocracy. Too many of us, America especially, they believe that the theocracy of the Bible described in the nation of Israel and so on, that it is to be something that you can take as a template and superimpose on your government. That is not what it is and ever is intended to be. For the president to be the pastor and to have anointed people in key positions and so on. Even the theocracy of the Bible, the country that now has its name, Israel, this is not the Israel of the Bible, the Israel of today, which is why so many Americans believe they have to give a blank check of endorsement, support, and you know, what else we call it? Justification to everything Israel does, because they're the people of God, and so they can kill any amount of Palestinians, and the people of Gaza, oh my goodness, they must be doing the work of God. The Israel today is not a theocracy. It is not what was in the Bible. It has the name. It calls itself Israel. But this is a modern, liberal, pluralistic democracy. In the Israel in the Middle East now, same-sex marriage is legal. My friend, in the Israel of the Bible, you would ever imagine that people would even contemplate that, evil as they were from time to time, straying away from God, but homosexuality, to come and embrace that? I mean, it's a non-issue. You get killed, you know, on the spot for this kind of thing. Yet they have embraced same-sex marriage and so on. That is not the theocracy. Stop trying to transpose the theocracy described in the Bible on the modern secular polity of the state. The two are dissimilar, the two are different, and they do not mix. What you do is that you are an alien who is called upon to live in the world but be no part of it, to be an alien without being alienated. This thing about you have to go and remove yourself and live in an isolated commune, that's not what it is. Live with the people, among the people who don't share your beliefs, but don't follow their practices and their way of life that is against what you have been commanded, while at the same time lovingly reaching out to them through reasoning, like Paul said, teaching every man, warning every man, that we may perchance present every man, you know, to God and to Christ and so on. Not to come and to work your way into government and influence and so on, so that you're not evangelizing, you're colonizing people, you're trying to force them into seeing what it is. It is generating antagonism and hatred, you know, unnecessarily. There's already hatred anyway, causing people to resent you because you're using that kind of influence you have with judges and magistrates and politicians, you know, to basically enslave them to what you believe to be your way of life. And that hatred never helps the cause. Like Israel don't understand what they're doing there. Because of the military power and support that you have through America arming you and this kind of thing, what's going to become of you down the line if America decides to abandon you? If America pulls away from you because it's not, you know, the kind of hatred that you would have accumulated for yourself, it means that your country, your people is an unsustainable project. There's just so much desire to wipe you out that at some point it's going to overwhelm you. But you know, they believe they can counter that by killing 50 Arabs for every Israeli that is killed in some kind of conflict, which is what's going on there in Gaza, you know. To try to wipe out as many of the Palestinian people as possible so that the numerical ratio is never one that is tilted against them. Bloodthirsty nonsense that they're doing there and so on. People here in St. Lucia, those of us who are believers, who have faith, who believe in it, it is a good thing. That's what I'm saying. Don't think you can or should impose it upon other people through the unfair advantage of your influence with the secular institutions of the lawmakers and the judges and the economy and that kind of thing. It is wrong. You have to do unto others as you would like them to do unto you, not as they once did to you. They were doing it to you centuries ago. You overcame, not by influence and lobbying and those kind of things. You did it through the commandments you were given to make disciples and evangelize people. What I see now is happening is a reversion, that now we want to think that because we are the dominant force, that we have a right to shove things down people's throat. That is wrong. And that has no place in court and law and judge and judgments and conviction and legislation. That has no place in it whatsoever. The people, the Wiccans, the Gage, the Gade, whatever it is, we may not like what they're doing. We're not supposed to like it anyway. We may not want to have anything to do with it. But we have to recognize they're part of the society. They're part of the country. They are our compatriots. They are our neighbors. And they are so by the will of God. If God didn't want them there, he can wipe them out, as the Bible parlance goes, in the twinkling of an eye. Who are we to want to wipe them out? Who are we to want to wipe them out, or to be jailing them, or to be doing? That is the essence of a democratic, pluralistic society. You create laws so that people can coexist and interact with each other, pursuing a way of life that does not impinge or infringe upon the rights of others, that does not disadvantage the vulnerable, such as those who are underage, what we call the minors, what are the elderly, what are the disabled, what are this and that. You don't do those who are economically disadvantaged. You create laws to allow that kind of mixing and melding of people so that nobody takes advantage of others in a harmful way, and nobody threatens the cohesion of the society so that it ceases to be a society. But whatever people do, that they're not harming other people, that they're not breaking the laws of the country in a manner that undermines the very foundational concept of a society, you let people be. Somebody wants to do their gage and their book and their Ouija board, whatever, and they set up a business. People come and they want to go and pay their money for them to look into the crystal ball for them. Unless you can show that this is harmful to the... Look at vices we talk about. Gambling is not supposed to be one of the worst vices. Look at how we have legalized gambling. We have organized it. We have put it in an orderly way in the form of casinos and the slot machines and what is the name of the lotto machines and lottery machines and all of that. Gambling has now been legalized, and we have prostitution in all its forms, whether we call it strip club, whether we call it whatever we call it. We have ways we have legalized